What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to LTH. My name is Abe, and I'm your host of this series of how to set up a basic home lab for networking beginners. This does follow some curriculum for Cisco, but really it will be enough within these episodes to get you going for 99% of the things that you're going to do within your home lab. And maybe if you just want to get your hands dirty with networking, this course is for you. We do have a website going over step by step of how to do all these configurations if you find this video too fast, too long, or a little bit confusing, with FYIs as well as explanations on what the commands are doing so you get a better idea of what you are typing in. Over to my other screen and go back here to the top so I don't miss anything. All right, so here is the lab that you can download from the link down below in our description. On our website, we have a link to our GitHub with this file, but you can see that we need to assign the IP addresses to these two PCs, as well as this switch B is pre-configured, but an engineer has messed up the configuration and we need to correct it and then ping PC1 and PC2 to verify that all the settings are working. But first, you need to know how to do that. So we are going to teach you everything you need to know to configure this switch, which will give you the commands you will need to log in and troubleshoot the other switches configurations, okay? So when you log on to a switch, you see we have a greater than symbol. This is just the basic login area of a Cisco switch. We'll do enable, which makes that pound sign, and that gives us a little bit more permissions, and you can read about those on our website. And if we go up one more to the global configuration with conft, we now can configure the switch settings. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to be a good network admin, and we're going to actually give this host a unique name. So in our case, we're going to do switch_A so we know what it is on our network. And once again, that's just best practice. Don't be a loser. Name your switches, okay? Now, if you noticed, we just logged into the switch without a password of any sort. So we want to stop people from doing that for security reasons. So we're going to type enable secret, a secret password called enspass, and we're going to enable secret and give it the password enspass. Now, this doesn't ask you to type it in twice to make sure that they are correct. So as you can see, make sure you type this correct the first time because you don't get a second shot. Obviously, if you're right here and you notice it, you can change it, but maybe you log off your switch, didn't realize you do a typo, you come back a couple days later, and now you can't get in, and you got to hard reset your switch, and that's a pain, and now all your settings are messed up, and now your network might not be communicating, and if you're doing this in the real world, you may have upset customers. So the next thing we're going to do is the console password, so log console 0, or line console 0, excuse me. And then in here, we're going to do logging synchronous, and all these commands and what they do will be on our website so you can get a better idea, like I said, and give it the password, of conpass, okay? Just like that. And then we need to do the SSH or telnet keys. So we're going to do exit to leave that config, do line VTY0 question mark. And we do a question mark because depending on the switch, you might have a lot of remote options. In this case, this switch gives us 1 through 15 or 0 through 15. And so the other part is going to be 15 to ensure we're adding these settings to all 16 options. Now, it is possible that you would want to change those settings to have a limited scope between certain login sessions, but that's beyond the scope of this video. So we're going to type logging synchronous again, and we're going to do or give this a password, VTY pass, and these passwords will be used throughout the remainder of this course. And we're going to type login. Now you want to type login because if you don't, people will not be prompted a password to log into the machine. And so all these settings you just did are pretty much useless. So make sure you type login so when people try to remote in, they have to be prompted to type in the correct password to do that. Now I'm going to do a show run. Now, if you're in the config file and not the main # file, you need to type do in front of show run like this to force it to show you the configuration file. So in here, if we go down, we can actually see the passwords for our stuff. So that is not good. We don't want those passwords to show. So what we're going to do is encrypt these passwords like so. If I do another do show run and I go down here, these passwords are no longer showing. So it adds a little bit of security. And once again, it's a best practice. Now we want to set a banner for our machine, just like so, with banner mot d, and the pound sign is the beginning and the ending delimiter. And you would add like warnings, government warnings, business warnings, things, or just FYIs to try to prevent people from logging in. Or like, hey, if you do log into the switch, my company may take legal action against you if you do anything malicious or intentional, and we will sue you. So this is a LTH switch. Do not access. Okay, just like that. And then exit. And in here, I can just do a show run without the do because we're not in the config file. And if I click space, and I can see my banner is now right here, ready to be displayed on my switch. So now that we've done the general overall settings for our switch, we need to start configuring certain things. So, well, before we do that, let's actually plug all these in. So if you go to the lightning bolt indicator and I hold down my control key, my left control, and I click fast Ethernet 01 to 0, gigabit Ethernet 01 to gigabit Ethernet 01, and then fast Ethernet 01 to fast Ethernet, we're going to create ourselves all those connections. And as we wait for that to load or boot, we can do some dual work here. I want to make gig 01 and gig 01 a trunk port. So if I had multiple PCs plugged in over here, that's going to be multiple lines trunking into gigabit 01 and going over the network. So like a tree, I have all my branches, and now they're going down my trunk of my tree, down into the ground, over the internet, and to this other network. So it's a trunk port. So in order to do that, we need to go back into the configuration menu, do interface gigabit 0/1, and now we're editing gigabit 0/1, okay? And then within here, we need to give this a description because that is best practice, and please do it, especially when network engineers, after you come and log in and they don't know the network or what's plugged into a switch, they can read all the descriptions in the show running configuration, and that will help them out. So we'll do connection to switch _B, just like that. So we know what is the device on the other side of this interface, right? And then we're going to do switch port trunk encapsulation .1Q, and this will force VLAN tagging on all the internet traffic packets that travel through this port to protect you against lots of different types of malicious attacks. And then we're going to use switch port mode trunk. So we're telling the switch this port will be a trunk port, okay? And then we can exit this interface, and now I'm going to do interface fast Ethernet 0/1, and now I'm editing this interface going to the computer. So this is not a trunk port, this is called a access port. And so I'm going to again give this a description, connection to PC _1. You can be more specific, an employee, a location, a seat number within your office space, whatever. Just make it something that people are going to be able to understand, okay? And then we're going to do switch port mode access instead of trunk, and that's essentially saying, hey, this is connecting to one device and one device only. Don't treat it like a trunk. If you see multiple devices trying to connect over this one port, we have issues. Don't do that. And then we're going to do spanning tree port fast, and that is going to prevent or it kind of says right here, but will only have effect when the interface is in a non-trunky mode, which it's not, but it only allows a single host to connect, and it to do this, interface when port fast enabled can cause temporary bridging loops. Used with caution. So we don't want that, right? You don't use this on trunk ports. Sorry, I'm trying to make sure I'm reading all my notes here. but yeah, again, like you're only going to access ports or assign access ports to like VoIP phones, computers, printers, etc. And so now if I do exit, a do show run, if I go in here, we can see that this Ethernet port is switched to mode access, spanning tree port fast, and the rest of them have not been set. Okay. So best practice is I don't want a malicious guy to walk up to my switch, plug in a fast Ethernet 02 and have internet access, right? That would be bad. So we need to stop that from occurring. So we can do something super cool. Instead of just typing interface, we're going to do interface range fast Ethernet 0/2, because we want to skip 01 because we just configured that. And this switch has 24 ports. So I'm going to do -24. And now we can see it says configure interface range. And I can configure the rest of these ports in one solid sweep. Okay. So I'm going to do, or make these all access ports, right? Because they're individual ports. So I'm going to do switch port mode access, just like that. Spanning tree port fast, just like that. And I'm going to turn them off because I don't want people to be able to plug anything into them. And if I do a do show run, we can see it edited all of those ports. So you're going to want to also do that to the gigabit Ethernet 02, which you could have done a comma and then added this as well if you wanted to do that in one swoop. Okay. So the next thing we need to do I want to show you is how do I change a setting that I didn't mean to set. So we could actually do interface fast Ethernet 0/2, and I'm going to give this a description to no PC, right? And if I do a do show run, if I go under here to this description, no PC, okay? Well, I want to remove that. So I'm going to actually I can get rid of all this. I can just do no description, just like that. So you literally just do the opposite of the command. No description, no whatever, and then I do a do show run again. And I go under here, we can see the description is now gone. So that's how you remove commands, is just adding no in front of the command that you wish to remove. Now, if I do this, let me exit all the way out here to the pound symbol. If I do a show run, that's cool, right? It shows all the settings because that's in the running config. But what if I do a show start? There's nothing here because we haven't saved anything to the long-term storage. We just have a running config. So we're going to do a copy the running config to the start config, just like that. Copy, run, start, click enter, destination file name, startup config, yes, and it is now saved. Or you could type WR for write, and that will go straight to the stored memory. Okay? So that is it for configuring this switch. But if we attempt to ping after we set the IP address in here into these PCs, 192.168.50.101, and I do over here, I go to desktop configuration 192.168.50.102, just like that, and I open up this PC and I go to the command prompt and I type ping 192.168.50.102. We're going to see that this fails to ping. So if you want to log into the switch and figure it out by yourself, pause the video right now. And if you can't figure it out, come back to this video and I'm going to show you how to make these two talk. Okay, so for my people that want to know how to make this work or do your troubleshooting, we are going to click enter to this switch and we see it wants us to type in a password. So I'm going to type in the console password of conpass. Enable, to enable and get higher privileges, I need to type in the password ENS pass to get access to this switch. And the first thing you want to do is do a show run, because we want to look at the settings. Why is this switch not working? Well, we know gig 01 and fast Ethernet 01 would allow this communication tunnel to occur. So we want to pay special attention to those two. So look at that. Fast Ethernet 01 is in a shutdown state. And if I go down to here and I go to gigabit Ethernet description, so it has a description, that's good. It connects to switch 1. It's set to trunk port, that's good. It's set to switch port mode trunk, that's also good. But it's also in a shutdown state. So I think we have found both of our issues, right? To make them communicate. Now, if we go back up to fast Ethernet 01, it doesn't have a description. It's not set to mode access. So you'd want to fix those two, right? Just to have best practice. So I'm going to do configuration T, interface fast Ethernet 0/1. I'm going to give this a description, connection to PC2. I'm going to do switch port mode access, and I'm going to do no shutdown, just like that. And it changed the state to up, and now we can see these colors of these connections are changing. And I'm going to do exit, go to interface, gigabit Ethernet 0/1, and I'm going to type no shutdown on this one and change the state to up. And we can now see these icons are changing, or they're loading, right? They're negotiating their connection between devices. So once these turn green, we can try to ping again. But I'm going to do exit, exit again. I'm going to do write to this machine and do a write configuration, just to make sure that our settings are saved. Maybe your switch turns off, it fails, you accidentally unplug it. It's good whenever you change settings to write them, once you have verified that those are what you want them to be. So if I go here and I type ping again, we can see we get a response. So we fixed the issue. All right, hopefully that wasn't too fast and you guys could follow. If not, once again, we have a link to our website with step-by-step instructions, and you can go through this process yourself. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for the other 6 episodes of this course. My name is Abe, and we are signing off.